Several years have passed since Rome destroyed the Egyptian dynasty. The kingdom of Argos, where the lions of the sea live, is now dominated by Imperial Rome. Here is where the story begins. My name is Rygar, a warrior of Argos who has nothing left but the will to fight.
I played this game called Rygar, something about an adventure or whatever, on the PlayStation 2 about half a year ago. Back then I didn't make any videos about it, even though I'd planned to, because I didn't think of how to do any of that. Which is why I was just looking back at my footage and I thought, what the hell, let's just see what I can make of this.
Discarmer?
Yes, the battle shield of the gods, which can be used only by one who knows the true meaning of battle.
Anyway, Rygar on the PS2 was a pretty decent game, which might be one of my favorite types. This is something that you saw a lot of on the PS2, and not so much later, I find. Because this was a reboot of the original Rygar by either Tecmo or Koei.
Rygar, the legendary adventure.
I assume Tecmo because they are the arcade company and Koei was the strategy game one. Either way, it was something like a reboot akin to Ninja Gaiden for the Xbox, but now it was a reboot of Rygar, I think a not as well known game from that company, released as a reboot for the PS2. Anyway, this reboot shows me how much these PS2 games had to offer. Even though it's really a simple affair, you just go from point A to B. You do go and collect different objects to power up, to guide you in your adventure.
This is Siren. Take my discard
just get the third one.
and hurry to Harmonia.
Similar to a Metroidvania game. So my main point is that I enjoy these types of games that just go with the flow. They try to do something, they do it fine. And one of the big charms here for the PS2 era of games is that they had amazing voice acting.
The man who had the heart of a lion. As long as your soul remains in your body, the prophecy will never come to pass. Then I shall smash your soul and take your body.
And the graphics, which is something I think a lot of people bring up. The graphics are fine enough. They're not amazing. So people could just develop a game like Rygar, the adventure guy, and it'd be fine. It'd look decent. playable. This immediately reminds me of the fact that they did another version of this game for the Wii, where they replaced Mr. Rygar with another Mr. Rygar. I can't remember what he looked like exactly, but it makes you think, what's the point of releasing this game again with a different guy? But I assume it's because, like me, I didn't know this different version of the game for the Wii was just not really a different game at all. It was just the same game, but you waggle, of course, it's on the Wii. Plus, your Rygar guy is a different guy now. Either way, the Wii, of course, is an extension of this PS2 era, but even still, the Wii games came out at the same time as the PS2 games, a lot of them. One of my other favorites is Ghost Rider for the PS2, which is one of these mid-budget, less than mid-budget, low-budget games. That's also a rip-off of God of War. It's very much a rip-off of God of War. It's great. But this Rygar game is an adventure game. It has some combat elements similar maybe to Devil May Cry or things like that, but it's mostly just a beat 'em up where you beat up insects. Yes, insects. One thing I can think of that is actually more than okay is that the music is good, and not a great recommendation from me. But if you do feel the need to play something dumb with charm that's old, and I think the being old helps for me. I find it hard to get into all these newfangled, whatever you call it, these Metroidvanias and things like that are not the top tier ones. Then I really have to go back and think, is this what I want to be playing? But then when I see Rygar, my mind goes, yes, that is what I want to do. That is how I want to spend my time. That'll be great. Because somehow there's a seal of approval on it that it will be a game with an ending, and it might be a huge bias on my part, but it just seems a lot better often to me, these old PS2 games. But I really have to try to get into all these newer ones. Anyway, those are just my thoughts.
Why the sun?
This whole new world, blessed with sanity, following the wind to an oasis called eternity. Long ago, the voice of the earth taught precious things are invisible. We must believe that pain will fade and love's invisible. Knowing thy presence
until she wake up.